All right.
All right. We're actually here. Man, that was a tough one.
Yeah. All right. So how'd you do it?
I found out what the issue was. It's pretty stupid, actually. So apparently I have to follow you on Google in order for it to be an active Google request.
Okay.
Otherwise, it doesn't actually work. So keep that in mind. If Vapin still needs help, we'll help him out with that. But that was the big issue. Something as small as that was causing all that pain.
Okay. So almost like you guys have to be added to the circle.
That's what you have to do. You have to add him to the circle for sure.
Let me text Billy and tell him that.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be the one that has the hardest time figuring this out. Actually, let me call him. All right, I'm calling him here. Oh, this is awesome.
Finally, something so stupid. I can't believe it.
That's all right. Oh, of course, he's unable. Yeah, so, oh well, I mean, for those of you that don't know, like, we've kind of been working on this for a while, talking to each other and trying to get everything straight. And I totally forget where the fuck I was going with that.
We've done a couple test runs, and the only thing that changed this time was actually doing it on air and live. And I guess when we were doing the test runs, we just didn't really think about incorporating the live feed to it. But when I logged on here, actually I had to accept a whole bunch of stuff just to agree to this call. So it was kind of weird, the through, but I got on no problem. So I am here now, and I apologize to everybody watching. And yes, I am cute. I'm reading the comments here as well, so don't try and sneak anything else by me.
Yeah. I remember what I was saying now is, so when we were working on this, we weren't sure if we should do like the videos first on Heathen. All right, so you are live right now because I'm talking to you on the phone here. Robbie figured it out. So you have to go into your Google Plus account and add Project F.O.G to your circles. So go in under your Vapin Heathen account. Is that right, Robbie?
That's right. And then once you go onto the page, it'll actually have the invite right on the Project F.O.G page saying join Hangout. Click join Hangout and you'll be good to go, and it'll bring you right to here.
Okay. Yeah, so go into your account. Yeah, add Project F.O.G into, like, I think Google calls it circles, but yeah, friends. Yeah. All right, he's added in, Robbie. Now what?
Now on the Project F.O.G page, it'll say join Hangout, and click join, and it should bring him right into this video.
So somewhere on there it should say join Hangouts.
On episode 1.
Episode 1. Where at on the page? Robbie, where at on the page?
For me, it was right at the very top of the Google Plus page for Project F.O.G. It brought me to the page and it says Project F.O.G, Hangouts on Air, episode 1, join Hangout. And it's like pretty much the only post on there, actually.
Okay. Can you hear him? Can you hear him?
I can hear him, yes. I heard that.
Fucking Devo, man. Yeah, I got you, buddy. I am too. This Devo guy, he's the only one that can creep me out and make me laugh my ass off. Yeah, you might have to go into desktop view. All right, man. I'm gonna hang up here and I'm hoping that you get it and that you get on here. If not, give me a ring back. All right, man. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Well, while we are waiting on the Vaping Heathen, welcome to Project F.O.G.
Welcome, everyone.
20 minutes in, welcome.
Yeah. We got it down for next time, though. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So most people here that are here in chat right now, they know the three of us. At least the people that I see chatting, they know the three of us. But for anybody who doesn't, or anybody who's going to be watching this after the live feed has ended and it's a saved video on the Project F.O.G page, I'm Hank. I have a channel on YouTube. I do reviews. My channel name is Hank Vapes, and these other two guys here, Robbie and the Vapin Heathen, they're good friends of mine, even though we've never met in person.
Yet.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, tell them about your channel.
Yeah, so I'm Robbie. My channel is Robbie Vapes. I do a lot of reviews, different types of videos. Pretty much try and mix it up a little bit between RDAs, sub-ohm tanks. Starting to get into some mods now to do some reviews on mods. Apart from that, really, I mean, just on here to have fun and talk vaping. So I think that's what most of us are on here for, and I think that's why we have such great viewers right now. And huge thank you to everybody watching and everybody who will be watching this once it gets posted. Thank you all very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we actually had a few things planned for the video, but I guess we'll wait until Vaping gets on. And once he's on, we'll start the channel up and start discussing a few things that are on our mind and some things we wanted to talk about. So with that being said, I think it's going to be a fun video once we actually get everything sorted out.
Yep. All right, what are you vaping on tonight?
I'm vaping on 3 different things actually right now. I got a mix of 3 things right now. I got my Scally 150 watt with the Royal Hunter RD on here. And in here I'm vaping on the BYOB by Cowtown. It's a banana vape, really good. It reminds me of some banana medicine I had as a kid. So I will never complain about that. Next up I got the IPv4 with the Magnus tank, 0.5 ohm coils, vaping it at 57 watts right now. And I'm vaping a new line of juice actually just came in here in Calgary called Gluttony. And it's field picked strawberries with a whipped cream. And then lastly, I'm actually vaping on the K-Box with the TVCT tank. And this is one that got from OBS, courtesy of them. And I'm actually enjoying this quite a bit. It's a little bit of a lighter tank as far as vapor production goes, but I'm actually really enjoying it. So I'm loving this thing actually. It's pretty nice. It's nice to have in the car or in the office or whatever. So that's kind of where that's mainly used for. What about you, Hank? What are you vaping on?
I got all kinds of shit. A few of these are in test mode right now, so I can get some reviews out on them. So I'll start with shit that I have already reviewed. Royal Hunter on the Simple. Love it with kitty milk from Mad Cat. They're a local shop here to me. I've done reviews on their stuff. It's like a strawberry milk type thing. Then, of course, my Magnus, because I finally got my glass for it, and I was so bummed. It was like almost 2 weeks, I guess, because I ended up just falling in love with this tank, and the glass broke, and I was so pissed. And nobody had them anywhere. I couldn't find them online. I found one place online that had them, and of course, they were out of stock. And my local shop, Mad Cat Vapors, they actually just got them in like a couple days ago. So I was pumped on that. And in that tank, I'm vaping another juice from them. It's a chocolate mint. Very good. This was actually like the first juice I ever vaped that wasn't a tobacco. Because my first couple were all tobacco juices, and I've stuck with this ever since. He's here.
Vaping going.
Am I here?
You're here.
Oh my God!
Time.
It's about freaking time.
Yeah.
Yes, Devo, I am here. Oh, right.
Me and Robbie have already started. We were waiting on you. We've basically just done our quick channel, like our personal channel introductions and what we're vaping on. And I'm almost through that, so give me 1 second here. The other thing I'm vaping on is I just got this from another shop yesterday, and this was in my vlog earlier today. And I decided I was going to wait, but I put a build in it, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I've only been vaping on it for like 20 minutes before we started this whole fiasco, so I haven't had it long. And it's a new juice, Charlie's Chalk Dust. It's a new flavor from them, and I can't even. It's some sort of a fruity pancake with a maple drizzle, something like that. I can't remember exactly. It's not bad.
Nice.
And then, lastly, IPv4 with my very first ever nickel build. It took me 3 times to actually get the build tonight, but there it is, single coil build. 30 joules at 530 degrees is what I found to be the most flavorful for me tonight on the Aeolus with Charlie's Custard. One of my favorites, so that's what I got tonight.
That's good.
Cool. I don't even know what we're talking about.
All right. Ethan, tell them about your channel and what you're vaping on.
All right. My name's Billy, Vapin Heathen. It's a long-running joke why I'm called the Heathen for a few different reasons that I won't get into, but I am the Vapin Heathen. Anyway, I'm vaping on a whole bunch of shit. Right now, I got my Turbo from Vista, the Vista Select line. This is Nimbo Stratus. It's weird. It's like a candy flowery type. I don't know. I don't like floral type vapes, but this is. I just dropped it, but that's pretty good. I'm enjoying it, and I got some shit back here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm all kind of set up. I got a lot of shit. I don't know. I got Charlie's Custard, and this I showed this in my video earlier. This shit, it's called Zulu Custard. It tastes just like and smells just like Charlie Custard. It feels like they poured this into there. I don't see a difference. It's weird. I got my Star Tank always with my. You'll hear me talk a lot about Vista Vapors, not because it's only like 1 or 2 juices that I like from them, and Wildberry is my all-time favorite. So you'll hear me talk about that a lot, and I have that in my Star Tank at all times. It's always got to be with me. And I got my Star Tank on my Vicious Phantom. But I got a bunch of other shit too that I'll probably be vaping throughout the night. Yeah, that's it. And I got a lot of Star Wars shit here. I got Darth here. Got Darth behind me, Star Wars. Oh, and I showed these guys already, but don't fuck with me because I do have my lightsaber too. And that goes for you, Devo. Just kidding, buddy. And not removing my shirt. Okay, dead air. So, Robbie, I seen you do your giveaway today.
Did.
I was when you were counting, you know what I mean? I started falling asleep. Just kidding, buddy. But yeah, that was a lot of counting.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the numbers to be so high, but I can that next time. And then, of course, the audio was not in sync, so I felt so bad after watching it. It looked like someone else had actually won. And I went back and I actually had to recount it before I posted that video just to make sure I got the right winner.
No, that was fucked up.
Yeah, so congratulations to the Starling Assassin and Manuel, who has already actually messaged me, so his tank will be on the way this week. Haven't heard from the Starling Assassin yet, but if you're watching this, make sure you hit me up on Gmail or YouTube and just let me know that you got the message and claim your prize. But
Yeah.
no, it went pretty well. It was a very good giveaway, so I'm happy with it.
I did mine as well earlier for the famous Wii Mini 2. Me and my daughter. I don't know if you saw it. Which I got right back here. I'm still waiting for the email. He didn't get back to me yet. George Rojas, something like that. Yeah, so he won that. And then I talked about, I had another video. I did a few of them today because I've been so busy all week. I was going to do, last night I was going to do a 200 subscriber video because I had just reached 200. I was like 199. And when I woke up this morning, I had like 220. And I'm like, whoa. So I was like, I'll just do a real big giveaway at 300. So I did this 300 giveaway. And it's pretty good, man. I got like 6 15 milliliters of juice. Brand new Aspire Atlantis. Some vape bands. Oh, the Rampage RDA that we talked about. And some vape bands. And I got some Vapin Heathen stickers. Guys, if anybody wants a Vapin Heathen sticker, throw it on your mod, your computer, whatever, let me know. And if I can get one to you, I'll get one to you. All right? I'd show you one right now, but I don't have it. They're coming. They're on their way. They should be here any minute. Any day.
I'll take one.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll get you one, Hank.
All right.
Oh, and vape bands. Vape bands.
Yeah,
I got them coming,
yeah,
too.
I wanted to talk to you about that because that's so funny. I saw your post on Vaporium about that earlier today, and last night I was actually searching for places that would make custom vape bands, and it's really funny because I went through, and the one site, it would give you like a preview of what it would look like, and I actually went through and did all 3 of us just to see what they would be like, because I was gonna get a bunch and give them out, and I was gonna try to make some Project F.O.G ones too.
Nice. I like that.
Things are crazy expensive.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, at least the ones I found that they were, and like the minimums, you had to get like a minimum of 100, and I was only trying to buy like 20.
Well, I got a friend of mine he had them made for a shop, so he said he's going to get them made for me. So I don't know. I want to talk to him about the Vaporium ones as well, and I'll find out the prices, and whatever they are, I'll let you guys know if you guys want them, because I would like to get them for the Vaporium.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Raina, and guys, if you're wondering, that's how you say her name. I know it looks like Renea, but it's Raina Treadwell. Just want to say thank you live here tonight. Thank you for everything you've done starting the Vaporium. You are a class act, girl. You really are. And hopefully one day we get to meet each other. You know, maybe we can go to some kind of vape convention or something. And also, Raina, we want to have you live on the show. Right, guys? Didn't we talk about that?
Yep. Absolutely.
We want to have her live on the show. You know what I like? Yeah, I started some shit over there. I went over to the Vape Dome, and I posted links for the Vaporium, and they got pissed, man. They came over to our site and started saying all kinds of shit, whatever. So I'm apologizing to the rest of the admin over there, you know, to my fellow junior admins and Raina. I apologize. I didn't want to bring any shit down on you guys, but I was defending Raina's honor. They deleted her. I didn't like that. They pissed me off. Like I said in my post, you could take me out of Philly, but you can't take Philly out of me. So that's what happened. That's just what I do.
You did start some shit on that too.
I did.
I started reading some stuff that was going on there, and I was like, oh my gosh, really? And then they mentioned your name, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah, but you know what? Everybody had my back, and I appreciate that.
Yep. And
you know?
I actually got a little pissed off too. When they were talking about why do I want to join there, we have 3,000 members. And I said I made a smart ass comment. I probably shouldn't have done that, but
no, I liked what you said. You said something about they have 3,000 inactive members and whatever we had active members. We do. We got a lot of active members, and it was our first day. Our first day was yesterday, officially. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, listen, guys, whoever's watching, if you're not at the Vaporium, go to the Vaporium. It's like a big family. It's simple to use. It's like a Facebook setup almost. It's really easy. I enjoy it. I mean, I don't know about I'm Hank. I remember you posted in Vape Boss the one time, and I was talking to you, and you said you tried to vape them, but it was janky, and you couldn't find a good site, blah blah blah, and all this. And Vape Boss is cool. It's like an Instagram kind of thing, but it's not like it's a little hard like to communicate back and forth like it is on. So I remember mentioning to you, come over here and check it out, and obviously you like it, you joined, and you actually commenting a lot,
Yeah.
I actually remember when you first told me about the Vapedom, and I was on it, and it was a pretty cool site, but the improvements made to the Vaporium, it's been a huge improvement. What was on the Vape? To be honest, I actually haven't been on the Vapedom in probably at least 2 weeks after joining the Vaporium. It's just so much more of a better, user-friendly site, and I like that about it. So big shout out to the admins there. I know Vapin Heathen's an admin. Raina, you're an admin. You're doing awesome out there. Huge thank you to all of you guys for putting that together.
Yep.
Absolutely. I really enjoy the place. I find myself logging in kind of all the time, like throughout the day. It's I just really enjoy being on there.
Yeah, me too.
In my opinion, anyway, it's like the best social media thing that's specifically for vaping that I've come across yet. I like Vape Boss, but it's just not the same. It's not as social. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But the things that I like about Vape Boss aren't even the social aspects of it anyway. Like I like how you can look up reviews on certain products, and you can look up brick and mortar shops and where that stuff is. But
yeah, that's it. It is a cool site. It's put together pretty well, and it has all those extra features to it. But that's it. It's like an app. You know what I mean? It's like a kind of an app you want to go to look for different shops, different products, and stuff like that. And then if you want to, you can post a picture and check out other people's pictures. But you're not really going back and forth and talking. You know what I mean? Like do on Vaporium. You know, like I said, my laptop took a nice dump, and so I'm in the shop for a new laptop. So I'm always on my mobile lately. I've been on my mobile, and I don't get the notifications on my mobile. We got to figure that out, right? We got to work on that somehow. But other than that, I don't see any problems with this site. Really enjoying it, and I'll tell you what, everybody that I've met, especially the people that we came over from Vapedom with, I mean, I feel like I've known them for years. You know, Jeff, Jason, Whiplash, our buddy over across the pond, who wanted to watch tonight, but he's in La La Land right now, sleeping because he's way over there in Limey Land.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah, guys. I don't know.
We're actually hoping to. Okay, so with this show here with Project F.O.G, the basic idea of it is 3 YouTube reviewers that became friends on YouTube, shooting shit and just doing vape stuff. But we would like to have certain themes every week. This week, as you can tell from the beginning, has pretty much just been a free for all. This is like what Billy does on his Sunday vlogs. This is just a shit show tonight. But we would like to have regular episodes. Hopefully, we can do it weekly if schedules will allow. But if not, at least I would like to have them regularly and try to have a certain theme that we at least somewhat stick to each week.
I agree.
Yeah, and we're going off of what Hank is saying. It would be nice to say, every Saturday at 10 we'll be on. But it'll be hard. I don't know if you guys don't know who don't know. Me and Hank are firefighters. Hank's a volunteer firefighter down in Maryland. I'm a career firefighter up in Philadelphia. I work on a schedule, so I'll never know when I'm at the firehouse. But I mean, I do know, but it's never going to. be consistent. Like one Saturday I'll be working, one Saturday I won't. So it'll be hard to do it that way. As long as I'm involved. I mean, if Robbie and Hank want to do it together, that they would be able to, but I wouldn't. But
Right.
yeah, but I think we could do something regular, but we would just have to put it out beforehand. We can make little mini videos, putting that out and say join us this week at this time or something like that because of our crazy schedules. And for those who don't know what F.O.G stands for, that is Friends on Google Hangouts. Drop the H, Google Hangouts, one word, Friends on Google, right?
Yep.
So we came up with that, and I think F.O.G fits in with the whole fog your room out, the whole vaping thing. So a little play on words there.
Yeah.
Oh, and if anybody would like to meet me, I wish you guys could make it. I am going to be at the Vape Convention in PA on May 9th and 10th. It is in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. It's up near Reading. I will be there. I know the Vapor Chronicles will be there as well. Mike Vapes will be there. I think maybe Buck Kickers will be there. But I'll be there. It's not a huge convention. It's got a lot of vendors, but some of the vendors I've never heard of. But it'll be fun. It'll be my first vape convention. I've never been to one yet.
That's a Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yes. Yeah, in the 10th. And I'm gonna go up, take a ride up. It's only like an hour for me, if that. So take a ride up. I'm gonna stay in a hotel overnight, and my wife's gonna with me. It's gonna be tough though, because we may have to bring my daughter, and so we're gonna have to take turns going to the convention, and because I'm not gonna bring my daughter in there,
Yeah.
But maybe we could find something for her to do while I go, and then vice versa. But I'll be there, and hopefully I can meet some of you guys if anybody's going to be there. Yeah, hopefully I can. I'd like to meet. I don't know what other big time reviewers are going there, but I'd like to meet anybody that's going, and also just the community in general.
Yep. I'd like to go. It's actually not that far from me. I'd say that's probably maybe a 2-hour drive, maybe a little more. But that is my stepson's birthday weekend, so I don't think I'm going to be able to make that.
Okay.
I'd like to, but
it's the same thing. They got one in Pittsburgh coming, the ECC in Pittsburgh. It's on June 12th, I think, and I really want to go to that, but it's on my daughter's birthday. If you don't know from my first giveaway, you had to guess my daughter's birthday was June 10th, so it'll be tough. I mean, I got to be there for my daughter's birthday, which I wouldn't miss for the world, by the way. If you don't know, you see my daughter in my giveaway videos. She's only in the videos that I have where I'm not vaping. She really, really enjoys it. She sits in front of a mirror. She does her own little reviews. You got to see her. It's so funny. I would love to actually post one of her reviews because she'll pull out one of her toys and she gets in front of it. She's like, "Hey guys, this is Abby here, and today we're going to look at this." But she does the whole thing. It looks like she's been doing it for years. It's so funny, man. She cracks me up, man. She calls me the Vapin Peanut, which cracks me up. Because I used to say Vapin Heathen, and it sounded like peanut to her. So she would sit in front of the camera and be like, "Hey guys, I'm the Vapin Peanut." And she didn't even know what vaping means, but she would just say it.
Yeah. So have either of you two ever been to a vaping convention?
I haven't.
I have not. There's not many up here in Canada. There's one coming up July 24th in Toronto, which is pretty much across the country for me. It's about a 5-hour flight, 4.5-hour flight from where I am. And it's a 36-hour drive, so it's not a fun drive. I've done the drive before. I'm originally from Toronto, actually. I moved out to Calgary about 5 years ago. And, yeah, there's not much out in the West Coast here in Canada. There's a couple in Toronto every year, and that's about it. And it's not – I think the thing is it's actually not catching on up here as fast as what it did in the States. A lot of people are starting to get into it now, and I can see, maybe 6 months down the road, we're going to have a lot more conventions and things like that. So I think I can see it happening, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I've never been. Excuse me. I've never been to a convention, but I'd like to. But honestly, I've never really been to any type of convention except for one, and that was a fire service convention down in Baltimore. And the only reason I went to that is because I wanted to buy myself a leather helmet, and I had heard you could get them down there like $200 cheaper than anywhere else. So that was the only reason I ever went. So I don't even know what conventions in general are like. But I'd love to go to a vaping convention.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
can
actually
say,
went to, speaking of Comic Expo, I went to Comic Expo last weekend, I think it was, and it was kind of an eye opener actually, because one of the things I saw, some Star Wars stuff there too, but all right.
joke.
No, but I went there, and one of the things I saw actually was all the smokers there. There's a lot of people who were smoking there, and it was kind of funny because I felt out of place. You know, I didn't want to vape around anyone, but all the places I wouldn't vape, there were a bunch of smokers walking by just smoking a cigarette or whatever, and I find it kind of ironic that we're under attack, and yet going to these conventions, you know, the vapors are kind of all near in the parking lot or whatever, in their car or whatever, and yet the smokers are just walking around on the ground like having a cigarette like it was no big deal. I feel like us as vapors, we're kind of under attack in the sense that we're so scared of being portrayed negatively that we're now afraid to vape places where we probably should be allowed to vape, but just because we don't want to have this negative stereotype around us.
Absolutely.
I know, especially in that big convention area, it was a large convention. We had like 40,000 people there, so I mean it was quite big. But yeah, all the vapors kind of stayed in the parking lot, and that was it.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, what the shit that can friggin' actually we know kills you. The shit that I don't know if you guys ever saw the back in the day, like cigarettes. They used to put on television like advertisements. They actually had Fred Flintstone vaping on a Winston and telling his wife to get back in the kitchen and shit. And well, when they finally found out that when smoking causes tiny babies, premature infants. I remember there's a video of one of the owners of maybe R.J. Reynolds or one of them saying, yes, smoking may cause babies to come out smaller, but some mothers like those little cute babies. Literally, that's what he said, man. Like, what?
Wow.
That was his defense. Like, yeah, mothers like tiny babies. Like, are you kidding me? And this is the shit. And this, they want this stopped, man. They want this shit stopped because it's going to take away from their cash. It's fucking ridiculous, man. How much they own the government, man. It's I don't know. I can fucking run. I can run miles without running out of breath. I can fight fires better than I ever did when I was smoking. I remember I would lose breath so easily. I mean, almost to where I was passing out. Hank, you know how it is inside a fucking burning building, and it's not.
Yeah.
You don't want to run out of fucking. It's hard enough to breathe when you have a mask on and in intense heat, and then being a smoker on top of it, man, it just makes it 10 times harder. And I vape the shit out of my vape stuff, and I don't lose my breath. I mean, I'll get tired before I lose my breath. You know what I mean? My endurance runs out before I lose my breath.
I can breathe much more easily now, and it's definitely helped me in the fire service. You know, I don't know. That was a big thing that forced me almost into quitting smoking, because I tried numerous times, and I would go a couple days. One time I actually went a couple months without a smoke, and I ran a good. I say good. People watching this won't think it's good, but you know what I mean here, really. A good fire, and I came out afterwards, and just as a force of habit, I need to have a cigarette now. But I mean, that shit's intense anyway, so you need that nick fix after something like that anyway. And so then I was back into the smoking, and I had always, the past couple of years anyway, I'd always wanted to quit, and just could never get it off the ground. I even tried probably 2 or 3 different cigalikes, couldn't get them to work. Then my daughter came, and I still smoked for about a year after she was born, and I really wanted to quit for her. That was one time when I tried the cigarettes, and it wasn't working. And then we got this one fire, and I was on the initial search crew because it went out, reported with entrapment, and before I was done the primary search of just the first floor, not even the second floor, my low air alarm was going off, and that really scared the shit out of me. I didn't like that because, I mean, it's an eerie feeling when you start running out of air anyway.
Yeah.
But then you couple that with you think somebody's in this house that you need to get, and there were cars in the driveway. There was no homeowner standing outside, and I'm in a semi-rural area, so some people don't really have close neighbors. So there were no neighbors out saying. But anyway, these people, they weren't home. So thank God for that. But that was really my turning point, and it wasn't but maybe 2 weeks later I went and got my first vape kit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And what he's saying is, and this will be the last, I don't want to go on about the fire service, but what he's saying is when you're breathing in the mask, and you're going to run out of air faster as a smoker because you're gasping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you're not a smoker and you're not losing breath, you're going to breathe normal, and the air is going to last you much longer. And that's the truth. When you're gasping for air like that, you're going to lose air within a few minutes. I mean, it's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to go on and on about that type of stuff, you know.
But it's not just the fire service life for me. It's a lot of other aspects of my life have been improved since I've been vaping, and it all comes back to breathing, really. I mean, if I can breathe better, I can be more active. You know, I can.
You can keep up with the kids, you know.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go quite that far, but
Almost.
there's still
Hey,
some
guys,
hard.
I can't see the comments. What's anybody saying?
You gotta actually go into the video on YouTube.
I
So
mean,
what I've
can you
got
guys?
I can see them, yeah. I've actually been reading them throughout the video, and there's some pretty good ones on there, so it's been entertaining. I think actually the comments have been more entertaining than us. We've got a good group of people following us right now, and it's awesome, actually, so.
Anybody asking any questions they want to know?
Well, I mean, we already have a suggestion for next week's review, or next week's Project F.O.G episode, and we're going to do a shirtless episode next week, according to D. DeVoe. So we'll get that planned out next time.
Yeah.
I got a week to get into better shape.
What if I just get one of those shirts that's got like the 6-pack painted on it? Can I wear that? Is that enough for you, Devo?
Yeah.
Hey, Diva, we'll just do it. Actually, Diva, I'm actually sitting here in a thong, but I'm not going to stand up. You know, Robbie, I'll tell you, I bet you Robbie has pajama pants on right now.
I will not confirm or deny that.
Yeah. Who else is it? How many people we got in the room?
There's quite a few, actually. I was just reading on the comments here, and there's D. DeVoe's at it again. Some more good comments.
I'll tell you what. I'm going Monday, and I'm buying a new laptop, and I can't wait. And actually, in my job, I'm getting a nice big retroactive check, which is really, really nice. They haven't paid us for a couple years, and it's all coming at once. So I'm going to get some cool vaping gear and a new laptop. But anyway, I want to show you something. If Robbie, you know, you get the vape box.
Yep.
It comes in this nice little box. Well, I turned it into the steep box.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, crap, what is going on? Hold on.
Oh shit.
I don't know if you guys could hear that, but my wife, she's sitting over on the couch right now, and she's laughing at Billy.
He's laughing at me.
Yeah.
Steep box. And
Nice.
I got Ohms vapes. I talked about these earlier in my video. These all have to be steep. They weren't too great. I mean, they weren't horrible right out of the box, but they definitely need to be steep. So I'm gonna let them sit for a few weeks. But yeah, got my steep box.
Dude,
Yeah.
I freaking hate Go ahead, Robbie. Go ahead.
I use my vape box quite a bit for storage, and got my next one actually just shipped out last night, so should have that in the next week or so, and do another video on that. But it's a fun little idea, actually, having that little, added piece to it where you have a device or a piece of hardware that comes with it instead of just getting juice. Because for me, it's all a gamble too, and I'm so picky when it comes to juice. I mean, I pretty much vape like 3 juices, and that's about it. And I have probably a dozen of them sitting just behind me on this shelf over here on stuff I just didn't like, and I went out and bought it, and it's just all a gamble, right? But with the vape box, you get that extra piece of hardware, and it's nice to get that little extra incentive to keep going every month.
Is it actually pretty comparable in price to like Example Box and stuff?
It's higher than Example Box.
It is, yeah. I think it's the plan I'm on is like $55 including shipping, but it's a little bit more to ship to Canada than it is to the States. I think it might be $45 to the States and $55 to Canada for all in for the piece of hardware. I think you get 3 or 4 juices. 4 juices.
That's not bad, though. I mean, they give you, it's either a mod or an addy, right?
It could be anything. So it could even be like batteries. It could be charger or whatever. But usually it's a mod or an addy.
That's not a bad price, really.
And
it's not.
You actually select if you want to.
My first like 2 or 3 Example Boxes were great, and then they all turned to shit. And
they fucking suck. Everyone I get sucks.
Yeah. So I ended up canceling it. And then they still sent me one time.
Yeah, I feel like Example Box isn't the right place to order juice from sometimes, and I mean, like I said, for me it's just a gamble. I'm just super picky already, so whatever works.
I canceled my Drip Club too, but I still buy from Drip Club occasionally. If I want a certain juice that they're carrying and they may be running a sale on it, then I'll buy from them. But I don't get the subscription anymore.
Drip Club doesn't have the subscription anymore.
Oh, that's right. They got new,
They got that hero box that you can buy every month, and they sell juices online at deals.
They started that.
But when it comes to freaking Example Box, man, I had one good box, and it was my first one, and it was an okay box. The rest, I mean, they're just shit. To me, anyway. I mean, they're probably good juices, but they don't send.
Yeah, I mean, they don't
fit my flavor profile at all.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, Robbie, on your vape box, did it give you a choice for just 3 milligrams? I vape 3 milligrams. Now, it gave me a choice from 0 to 3 or 3 to 6, and then 6, 12, whatever. So I said 0 to 3 because I don't like 6 milligrams. It's too much for me. And I got 2 that were 0 and 2 that were 3. And I don't want 0. And you know what I mean? I want just 3 milligrams. That's pissing me off. Yeah,
it happened to me too, actually. I got 0 and 3 as well in my first box. And it was just, it was half and half, actually. It was half of them were 0 and half of them were 3. And it just, I mean, the funny thing is, one of the zeros was one of my favorite ones, actually. But I couldn't vape it regularly because it just wasn't giving me that little bit of nick that I needed. So I think what I changed it for this month is 3 and 6. I'll see how strong it is because some 6s I can handle, other 6s are just too strong. So I'll definitely do a review on it and see what the 6s are like. Worst case, I can get flavorless e-liquid and just cut it back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and it wouldn't be bad if you're vaping on a mini Nautilus or something or a silo tank. But, I mean, if you're dripping in, or one of these sub-ohm Claros, which is basically dripping in a bottle, I mean, you can't, if you're on 3, you're going to get lightheaded off of 6. Your throat's going to hurt. You can't do it. I mean, my neighbor has 6, and I tried, he had a 12, and I didn't know it. I was like, oh, let me taste that. I threw my drip tip in, and I was like, took a big-ass hit. I thought I was going to drop dead.
Oh.
Yeah, I tried dripping 12 about probably 3 weeks ago, and it was a mistake. I had some good 12 left that I forgot about. Found it in my juice collection. Figured, what the hell? Let's try dripping it. Oh, it hit hard. I was on my ass for like a good 20 minutes.
That's the turbo, guys. I don't know if you can hear it.
If I was there right now, I'd punch you in the mouth.
David, how you welcome that OBS tank?
Hey, I can do it too.
Yo, you got to see the nuke that I got coming. It's got.
I saw it.
Did you see it? It's
Yeah,
shaped
the
like
nuke.
It's shaped like an urn. It's got 2 fans, one on each side, and then a fan at the top. I can't wait to check this out. Also, I got coming the Rubik's. It's a freaking square, like the like this Hellboy. It's square like that, but it looks like a Rubik's cube. And there's another. Guys, go on. I think somebody posted it earlier. I think it might have been Jason over at Vaporum. Esig-city.com. They got some pretty cool shit on that site. Good juices. They got deals like you can get like a Sigelli 150 and a battery and some juice and an Addy, and it's like 109 or something like that. They got some like deals, and but they had this. Damn, it's an authentic mod. It's like $100-something, and it's a square. It's the newest square one, but I forget what it is. But that looks.
Is that the one that's got a bunch of lines in it? Looks like almost like a Rubik's Cube without the stickers.
Yeah, the Rubik. It's called the Rubik. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I'm liking these square mods, and I think that's a good way to go because it makes sense with all these box mods. You know what I mean? It really does.
I was looking at that Addy yesterday at the at that one shop that I went to that gave me a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
That's a cool shop, man. But yeah, they had that one, and they had this other one. Man, I wish I could remember what it was called. It was a really, really cool looking RDA. It had a shit ton of airflow, like from underneath, but it didn't have the tubes like the Kennedy or like the Freak Show.
Right.
It was just like holes in the bottom of the deck.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like, man, I just see that being a leaking machine because there are literally just holes right in the bottom of the deck. But I don't know.
I know. Yo, did you guys catch the Petrie build from Rip Trippers today?
Nah.
The thing looked crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you,
It's kids.
I try hard not to watch him. To be honest,
I watch it only because I mean he does some good builds.
He does. I'll watch
he's-
some of his builds, and if there's something that I really want to see and he's got a video, I'll watch it. But I'm not a fan. I guess you
Definitely not a fan. I was when I first joined because I didn't really know about him, but I don't like the way he doesn't interact with his viewers. I don't like the way he doesn't go to any conventions. He don't talk to any of the other reviewers. He doesn't. I mean, you can comment the hell out of it, and he will not get back to you. He just and he edits the shit. I mean, there's not 4 straight seconds in his video. It's bet. He's like a cartoon character, like Yosemite Sam or Bugs Bunny. He's all over the place. You know what I mean? It's good for entertainment, I guess. But come on.
Yeah. No, I mean, I watch his videos sometimes, and I mean, I don't mind his videos. It's just, you know, if what
it's okay to come over here and say yourself.
it's kind of a shit way to do reviews, you know. I mean, you got to be fair when you're doing reviews, and if you're making anything off it, it's just it takes away from credibility. So
Of course.
What we will, but that's just my mind. And I noticed he doesn't comment on any, or doesn't reply to any comments on his videos either. I try to reply to all of them, like as much as I can, and that's like half the fun of YouTube for me. Actually, is replying to the comments. There's some really good comments on my channel, and like, why wouldn't you reply? Like, people are taking the time to watch your videos and to, you know, comment and ask questions. Why not reply to them?
Rip needs decaf. I see that chat. Rip needs decaf. No, it's all front, man. He puts on a show. That's not his real personality. That's what I don't like.
Exactly.
And yeah, like you said, Robbie, his lack of interaction. Because I agree. I think it's fun, and I get it when you get up to 10, 15,000 subscribers. You can't respond to everybody, and I get that. But even Grim Green, he'll set times aside. Like, I've seen it on his Instagram, where he posts a picture of his laptop and his beer and his vape, and he's like, it's comment reply time, and he'll sit there for an hour and just reply to everybody.
Yep.
And I agree, it's fun. I love people commenting on my videos, not just so I can have a whole stack of comments, but I like feedback, and then I always tell people thank you, right? Because it means a lot that they are taking the time to watch my stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
Nikki, Vaping with Nikki B just actually left a comment. It's a good question. What are your thoughts on clones? and I guess I'll start that one. But as you know, a lot of my RDAs are clones. I don't have any box mod clones, but I do have some mech mod clones as well. And for me, I mean, I know there's certain questions I ask myself. You know, if I like a clone, is it worth it to then go out and buy the authentic? And in some cases, I think it is, but in other cases, I think that if the clone works just as well as the authentic, like for example my Aeolus, which I love it, I don't really feel the need to go and buy an authentic now because it works so well.
Right.
I mean, that's my stance on clones. I'm all for them. I think there's some good clones out there.
My take on clones is, I'll get them. I will get them. I'd like to have the authentic. Whenever I can, I will try to get the authentic. Like my Hellboy, that was a clone for two reasons. One, at first I could not find the authentic, and two, it was an impulse buy, you know. So I got it. As a reviewer, I kind of don't want to review clones because I feel like I think the people who made them put a lot of work into them, and now, if somebody clones something, if they don't name it and stuff like that, that's fine to me. I don't know. It's a shame that I would hate to have to go to work and do something innovative and put all this hard work into and have all this quality control and all this, and then have some fly-by-night company just manufacture it like it's nothing and put it out there. And I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it. But, of course, they're there and they're there to stay, and they have a place. People can't afford, for a piece of metal, $120. I get it. I'm not going to spend that much for an RDA. I'm just not. It's a little piece of metal, you know, with free post. But you know, if you have the money, but if I can't down anybody for buying a clone, I buy them. But yeah, I just wish people would kind of just not mark them. I guess if you're going to clone a device, first of all, because it is kind of flattering, somebody's cloning your device, I guess. But if you're going to do it well. And yeah, you don't have to market or make it something different. You know what I mean? Like the Simple mod, they did. You know, A mod, they did it. They wrote their name on the bottom instead of Epic Designs. You know what I mean? Which one's that? A mod?
Yeah,
I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I got the.
People are spending the time to make these things and sit there and research and design these RDAs or even mech mods or mods of any sort, and they're sitting there in their office designing them only to have someone else come in and undercut them by a third, a quarter of the price. I have to agree with you on that. But, again, like you said, it's all about budget too. I mean, a lot of people can't afford those $120, $130 RDAs, and I mean, I'm one of them. And for me, it's even more expensive than that because it's in Canada you're looking at with the markup and exchange rate. It's just a massive markup on those. I think the Hellboy right now is going for $130 or $140.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's so much money, and it's hard to justify that when you can get a clone for $35 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you guys on that.
I'll be right back.
The reason I review clones is because, for one, that's pretty much all I can afford. If I wasn't trying to do reviewing and I could just absolutely stick with one or two products for 6 months at a time, I would absolutely buy an authentic. But I do sometimes think that the prices on authentics are a little bit ridiculous on some. But then you get some here, like the Royal Hunter. This is an authentic, and it's well built, and it's a great device, and it's $50 on average. You can't
65, but I agree.
But another thing, if it's a Chinese company, then I really don't give a shit. And you can call me an American asshole for that, but I don't give a shit if it's an authentic or a clone if it's a Chinese company because it's the same. It's like the same machinist, and he's making his 100 authentics, and then he's making 100 more and selling them off to the side as a clone, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Plus, China owns everything, so I really don't give a shit if it's a Chinese company making an authentic versus a Chinese clone of a Chinese company. personally, I really don't care.
Yeah. I mean, my big thing is when you can find affordable authentics, like you said, like the Royal Hunter, the Mutation X series is really good. The CLTs, things like that. When you start having stuff like that, it becomes an obvious choice to get the authentic when it's, you know, $15 more than a clone. But again, when you're talking, you know, 3-4 times the price, even more sometimes, I personally can't justify it because I go through RDAs pretty quickly with these reviews. And I mean, the Mad Hatter, for example, I love that clone. I think you're gonna love it as well if you got one as well. But you know, how long am I going to use it until the next best thing comes out? The Royal Hunter I'm using right now, I love that. But next week we have the Mutation X V4s coming out.
No, the V5 is already out.
Which one?
The Mutation X version 5 is already out.
The version 5, really?
Yes, I saw it at the brick and mortar store yesterday, and it was an authentic, apparently.
We get them next week, so I'll probably have one of those as well because I love the Mutation series, and this one looks pretty good. They actually added the airflow on the bottom, like you have on the like the freak shows and things like that, and then they have an additional airflow on the side, so it's gonna be massive airflow, which I'm all for.
Wow.
That's the one I saw at least.
But yeah, I mean, if I only reviewed authentics, I mean, there's no way I could do it. No way.
Authentics are good if you
I have videos on my channel.
Well, that's why I stick to tanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All tanks are well, I don't say all, but most tanks are authentics, and I use them all. Like I don't know, they're authentics, and they're more interesting. I mean, to me anyway. RDAs are some are a little better than others. Like some are innovative, like the Aeolus. Really love it. This is my favorite so far ever made that I've had. But so, I mean, they're all basically the same. People talk about the clearomizers being all the same, but they're much more different than I think RDAs are. RDAs are 3-post or 4-post with a top cap.
They're all the same. All products, you get something that works, and then as a manufacturer, you don't want to change it. And you can still add innovation and still keep your 3-post design. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you can still add innovation, and even though it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah. Vapin, have you tried that VCT tank yet?
Yeah, I've been talking to Bruce. He's going to, on the 4th, he's sending me the VCT tank, and hopefully he sends me that Ghost that you got, that mech mod. They also got a couple other things. I've been on their site, but they are on their Chinese Labor Day, I guess. So on the 4th, he's going to send it over to me. Also, the guys over at iJoy, the makers of this Acme tank, are sending me the Acme L and the all the coils, all the different types of coils. So they really like my review, and they're going to send me. And look, I'm not doing. Please, guys, I'm not doing that review and giving us things a thumbs up because they're going to send me something. Not freaking at all. If I didn't like this, I'm going to tell you I didn't like it. All right. This thing's good. There's another. Damn, why do I keep forgetting his name? Vapor Watch. He did a review on this before I did, and he had the earlier coils that they made. And he hated them. He hated them. He said he loved the tanks, but he hated the coils. I did my review, and then he did another review with the updated coils that they sent him, and he was raving about it. And I really like this for taste, and for the innovation. There's no leakage at the bottom, no air at all. The air comes right in at the top. I mean, it's a good tank, I think. I mean, and it's good at low wattages. You can vape it at 20 watts easily, and it's a satisfying vape. You can also vape it at 40, 45 watts, and it's a satisfying vape. It's all around good, and they have different types of coils. But anyway, yeah, the guy's going to send me something, but if it sucks, if I get the the Acme L, and it sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks. I mean, same thing with the OBS. You know what I mean? Look, if people send me something, that is great. That's awesome. You know what I mean? If I get more than one, or if I don't like something, I'm going to send it to you. And you can see with all my giveaways, I send my shit out, you know? So I'm in no way going to be bought or give a good review just to get something. That's never going to happen on my channel. Never.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I mean, it's one of those things where I assume that when people send me something, or if I get something from the local store here or whatever, they know I'm going to be honest. I think they appreciate that more because it helps them in the long run. Otherwise, if you start, going off on something saying it's so great, and the store sees it, for example, and starts ordering in, say, 30 or 40 more because they hear someone else say it's so great, try and stock up for a rush, and it turns out not to be, all you're doing is hurting the store in the long run. So it's better to be honest and just say, look, this does not work. I don't recommend it kind of thing, as opposed to saying, oh, I love it, and then someone going out and getting it, telling everybody else not to buy it, and the store's stuck with 30 extra tanks they can't sell.
Yeah, I totally agree. And speaking on shops, I talked about this earlier. If anybody's seen my videos, there's these fly-by-night friggin' shops, man. Especially these shops that sell vaping equipment, vaping gear, juice, that also sell tobacco products. I talked about this earlier because my wife, she runs a kitchen where at like a local pub saloon kind of thing. She runs a kitchen, so she has to go and pick up rolls or bread, right? So she goes to this one store and she picks them up, and this guy sells all kind of tobacco products. And she was vaping as she was, the guy saw her, and he's talking to her about it, and she was like, "Why, are you interested? I can recommend something." He's like, "No, I'm interested in selling it, And he was just all about the cash and selling it. He's like, because he said he's not making anything off the tobacco. So he's like, this is the new big thing. It's what I want to start selling. Like, but the guy had no clue what it was. Like, so he's all about the money. Like, you know what I mean? So don't support those shops. The guys go support the shops that they know what the hell they're talking about. They love it. They open up the shop because they love vaping. Of course, they want to make money, but they love vaping. That's why they're doing it. They're doing something they love, and they're going to support advocacy. They're signed up to SFATA. That shit, you know what I mean? That shit is important. Don't freaking go to a shop that is like fly by night, one of them LLCs, and man, that shit with the China juice and shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree with you 100%. I've stopped going to a lot of those shops here in Calgary that are like that. There's a few of them like that where you go in and you basically, what do you recommend? And it's, oh, well, here's the most expensive thing. You should buy this thing because it's so good, but it's expensive. And then places like Evolution Vape or, Digital Imports, places like that, they're trustworthy. You go in there, you hang out, you have a vape or whatever, and you just sit there relaxing, you talk about stuff. You try some different things out that people are already using. Like, that's the biggest thing, is I love shops that will actually allow you to try something out. They use their own products. They're all about trying new things. To me, that's a win right there, is a shop that does that.
Yeah. What about you, Hank?
I would never shop at a shop that sells tobacco products. Never.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even step foot in them. I don't even know of any around me, except maybe one. But I wouldn't call them like a vape shop. Like, they're not really selling vaping stuff. They've got like prepackaged starter kits and maybe a dozen bottles of some cheap ass China juice, and that's it. But they are a tobacco shop, and they don't. I don't know, but I wouldn't shop there. And most of the big brick and mortar shops around here, they're all pretty good. They like advocacy. I don't know that they're completely active, but
that's your job to talk to them about it, right?
Yeah, I've tried. The one shop, the owner's not usually around, and that's because they have two shops, and one of them's kind of like an hour away. So he's always up there.
Okay.
Like they would put flyers out like on the counters anytime there was a local call to action from CASAA. So I like that.
There you go.
That's huge, actually. The one thing I do want to say about the Canadian vaping industry and things like that, there's actually no CASAA in Canada. And I actually want to join CASAA, but I have to be a U.S. resident, which kind of was a bit of a bummer for me. Because even though I'm in Canada, I still want to know what's happening in the States. Because if trends continue the way they will, whatever happens in the States is probably going to happen in Canada as well. And that's how it's been. They tend to follow each other, and It
See,
kind of not being able to be included in that aspect of it, because I want to know and I want to help any way I can, not just for Canada but also for anywhere really.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know what Canada has.
There is,
know,
but it's
is
I
Canada,
thought CASAA. I really did. I could have swore CASAA supported Canada too. Because
maybe it was me.
I feel like I've seen those calls to action in Canada from CASAA, but I mean I could be wrong.
When I tried to sign up, it actually asked me for a U.S. resident address, and it wouldn't allow me to put in a Canadian address. But again, I mean, who knows? Maybe I was doing it wrong. And it's not a knock against CASAA and at all. I love CASAA. I love what they're doing. I love their support they give for vapors and how they're representing the community. It's not a knock on them at all. It's just I really wish we had something like that in Canada. We do have one company or one nonprofit who's doing it, but it's basically sign up for a newsletter or pay us to be a sponsor at your shop kind of thing. You can't. There's not really an in between.
Well, it sounds like you've got a new business venture that you need to get started.
Yeah.
hey, Project Fog Vaping, we're going to open it up international. You heard it first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to sign
our
off.
live shows in order first.
I'm going to have to sign off in a few minutes. My wife actually wants to go to bed, and I have to go to bed because I do have to be in work very early tomorrow. But I got a few minutes. But before I go, I don't know if you saw my video. Hank, you got the Atlantis V2. I have it on the way. This is the Atlantis V1 with the 5 milliliter upgrade. But what I did is put the new Atlantis V2 coils in there, and I'll tell you what, this thing has just as much airflow as my Star Tank.
Really?
The coil has so much to do with the airflow. I don't. It's amazing. I can't wait to get the Atlantis V2 just to compare it, because I think that the Atlantis V2 is just going to have too much airflow, because this airflow is great. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. I mean, guys, if you have the Atlantis, now I won't give a full recommendation until I get the Atlantis V2, but if you have the Atlantis, just get the coils, because save your money. I think Aspire needs to go back to the drawing board and do a little more innovation, because that should be called the Atlantis V1.5. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically the same tank. The parts are all interchangeable. It's the same tank, same coil upgrade. That's all it is, in my opinion.
Yep, I haven't had my review for it yet, but so far I'm not that impressed.
I haven't actually bought one yet. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. So for me, I mean, I got my Magnus tank, and that's pretty much all I need. I don't need to have anything else at the moment. I'm not really out looking for tanks, so that's where I stand on that.
Yeah, I don't. You're talking to the tank man here. I have like 12 behind me and then 4 in front of me. I got so many tanks.
I mean,
by the way,
that's how vaping goes. Everything goes out and then comes back in. I mean, a year ago, you would never see any type of advanced vapor using a tank whatsoever. That was only for people starting. And they've just gotten better, so now you see more people using them. And I'm the same way. I mean, a couple of months ago, if you told me I was going to be vaping on clear visors again, I'd have told you no. But
yeah.
So young.
Magnus.
If only I was.
And this thing's awesome. I love the Magnus.
do you vape? Your wife? Do you vape?
No. I don't smoke. I don't vape. None of that.
Okay, cool.
I'm just glad that he stopped smoking and started vaping, because it's like 10 times better.
I'm sure your house smells better.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Everything
no.
smells better.
I didn't smoke in the house.
Clothes,
Your clothes, yeah, that's a big
the
one.
car, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know how you do it.
Oh my God.
Huh? What's that?
Oh God.
I always see, like, when you're out and about and you know, fire at the firehouse work and all, you always show pictures of you with an RDA. Like me, I'm always on the go, especially being a fireman. Like I gotta have a tank with me. You know,
Well,
I mean, I'm
when I
pretty good
leave-
to get to the firehouse with me if I'm sitting around, but just
When I
drinking
leave
all
for
the
a
time,
call, when I leave for a call, this is what I grab.
We have a whole cabinet devoted to vaping, so he's lucky.
why in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, I think I do like using the Clearos and the sub-ohm tanks or whatever for on the road and even in the office or whatever, because it doesn't fog up the office too much. I do have my own office, which is nice. Otherwise, I wouldn't be vaping in front of other people and probably would step outside. But
Yeah.
just when you're at home or whatever, or you're just kind of hanging out and you just want to try something, that RDA is so much easier.
I am a chronic drip and driver. I probably don't use my tanks very much when I'm driving.
You should. Safety first.
But I'm like a pro at it. Because, for one, especially with the Royal Hunter, you don't have to take your top cap off. You just drip right through it.
Yeah.
But I've learned to drip through my drip tip anyway, so I can still keep one hand on the wheel.
Grim Green
So
style.
I do this. I hold my mod in my steering wheel hand, and then I don't know. I don't condone that. Don't do it, guys. But
Don't do it.
I
Don't do
do.
it, guys. Don't do it. Hank's putting it through the test.
He's being dangerous.
What else do we got? Before I sign off, what else I forget. There was something I wanted to talk about. I totally forget. Oh, yeah, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about. I talked about it earlier today in my video, one of my videos, I forget which one, and it was the Aola space, right? Everybody's talking about hybrid mech mods and the safety and running a clearomizer on a hybrid mech mod. And I can tell you with proof, and I'll show you, you take the base off the Aeolus, it has that floating center pin in there, and every tank that I've used that I own, and I own a lot, works on my simple mod. The pin sticks out, it will not push in. I tried to push it hard against the table, a flat surface, and it will not push in. But that is my star tank on the simple mod, which is a hybrid. And it's
yeah, I mean, that's great. I've done it too, but I'm not doing it right
I'm
now.
actually on my H9. I got the Aeolus heat fence on here as well, and I've tried it out, and it was actually because of your recommendation there, and it works so well. It's one of those things where if you're gonna get the Aeolus or you're hesitant about it, and you like doing the sub-ohm tanks or whatever, that alone should be a selling feature for you. That heatsink vent, putting it on a hybrid mod works so well.
Yeah.
You know, the reason that I don't tend to do that a lot is I don't really like using tanks on a mech anyway. I prefer to use my tanks on regulated devices.
Hey, me too, but this simple mod is so small. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's why, only because it's so stealthy. It's almost like an ego, you know what I mean? Even though it's thick.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so before we wrap this up, we were saying earlier
Okay,
how
bye.
all right,
Bye.
we were saying earlier how we wanted to have themes every week, or at least a general theme that we at least somewhat stick to. So we had talked about this before, pretty much at least two that we've thought of, and we've touched on both of them tonight. One was we definitely want to do a full show on sub-ohm tanks because there's so many on the market, and we could definitely make a full show out of that. And the other one was social media and just talking about all kinds of social media for vapors because there seems to be quite a bit of that out there too. I might have a couple of other ideas.
For that, I think we should bring on Raina.
Absolutely.
Raina should be our guest. If you would like to come on, Raina, if you're watching or whatever. If you see this later, you're officially invited for our show when we do the social networking theme.
Absolutely. I think we have to have her on. I mean, she's the OG of Vaporium,
that's
which
mom.
is going to be the biggest social networking site that's exclusively for vapors. I've got the feeling.
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely agree.
But we want to have other people on here too. Like, this isn't going to be just the three of us all the time. Like, we want Raina on here. But anytime we can get a special guest, I think it would be great. Any other reviewers watching this, if you want to be on here, contact one of us. Let us know. We'll see what we can do to get you on. If you want to get on for a certain topic, or if you just want to get on for anything, we're welcoming here. Everybody is welcome. Viewers, even if you don't review, you don't put anything on YouTube, but you want to be on our show because you like it or whatever, I'd say you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
If anybody has any ideas for certain themes, let us know, and we'll definitely try to accommodate it, because it's not really necessarily about us. We want to make you guys that are viewing happy and wanting to continue watching as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, anyone who wants to be on this, and like Hank said, if you're a viewer or not, I mean, you're always welcome, and give us a shout out or give us a shout and let us know what you're thinking, even for topics or whatever, or something you're passionate about, and we'll definitely listen to you. We want to know what you guys want to hear.
Yes, exactly. You can't be a douchebag though. All right. I mean, you gotta be like, if
you're gone.
no, if you're one of those people who always comments like negative and douchey shit, whatever. You know, if you're a cool guy and you like the community and you just want to bullshit with us, or if you specialize in something, or if you know stuff that we don't, that you can talk to others about, yeah, we would love to have you on. Definitely love to have you on, and that goes to reviewers, like Hank said. It goes to vendors, it goes to shop owners, it goes to anybody from CASAA, anybody from the Vaping Militia, or anybody who's involved in advocacy. We can have shows on that. I mean, hopefully we can run this for a while. We can have a regularly scheduled thing, and we can have different types of people on. So that's what we're all about. And look,
that actually is a good idea. We should do a brick and mortar theme show and try to get a couple of shop owners on here and talk about why they think their shop is cool and different things that shops can do for everything, advocacy and other shit that I can't think off the top of my head.
Right.
Yeah.
With that being said, Hank, I'm going to say my goodbyes. My wife texted me a few times already. She wants to come up to bed, and guys, if it looks like I'm looking past the camera, it's because my setup right now, because my computer took a dump. I'm looking past the camera and into a mirror, and so I can see you guys. But anyway, I will fix that hopefully by next week. Yeah, I'm going to say my goodbyes. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, all the people who have subscribed and watched. Do us a favor, man. Share it and talk about it wherever other social media networks you go or shops you go. Talk about us. Let them know so we can get more people to talk to and we can have more shows. Talk about our channels, whatever. Subscribe to my channel, Vapin Heathen. Subscribe to Hank's. Subscribe to Robbie's.
Subscribe here to Project F.O.G as well.
Project F.O.G, man, this is where it's at. So we're just going to look. Today we had this. It was the first one, so of course we're all over the place, but we're only going to get better. All right, we're going to have theme things. It's going to be better. I mean, I can only see good things for Project F.O.G. And with that being said, if you're going to the PA convention, look for me. I'll be there, and I will see you next week or on my videos. All right, at the Vaporium.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, buddy.
Any last minute comments? Just gonna say it right now. I've been looking kind of off and off on the comments and back on the video itself, but yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of interest here, and really thankful for everybody for watching and joining us. So thank you all for watching, especially I know it's pretty late out on the East Coast, almost midnight actually. So thank you all again, and I guess I'm good on that. If Hank, you want to finish this off for us?
Yeah. I want to thank you two for doing this with me. I came up with this idea, and it was like right when I first found you guys on YouTube, and I was like, oh man, these two would be perfect. And I think you are. So thank you guys, you two, for doing this with me. I'm having so much fun doing this. And then everybody that's watching tonight, all the comments, I've been watching the comments too. Every time you see my eyes go like this, I'm reading. And this is awesome. I'm loving the feedback we're getting. So everybody that's watched tonight, even if you're already signed off, thank you guys, because without the viewers, there would be no reason for either of the three of us to be doing this, or even have our own channel. So if you haven't done so, go subscribe to those two, and subscribe to this channel, Vaping Fall, because we will be back. That's it.
That's it. Yep. All right, hey, Hank. I don't know if you remember, man. A long time ago, when I first found you, I asked you to shout me out, and you shouted me out, and that was a while ago. And I wasn't a reviewer yet, but it's been a long time since you've had like a couple of your reviewers. So now we're good friends, and now we're doing a show together. So the evolution of vape moves on. With that being said, guys, I'm out of here. Good night, and I'll see you all later.
Yeah, that does it for me too. So thanks again to everybody here, and thanks to Hank Vapes and Vapin Heathen for joining us and helping put this together. And I'm just here to fill a chair, I guess. So anyways, thanks again, everybody, and I guess I'll sign off as usual. So until next time, happy vaping, guys.
That's right. Vape safe, vape on.